What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Fatherhood Village podcast, the official home for proud fathers and mentors. I am Dale Holloway, here as your TFV host with the one and only Kev Hick. All right. So, welcome to the show. Look, another interesting topic, something that a lot of us need to start paying more attention to, having these conversations with our sons and daughters about standing up for what's right, doing the right thing, even if it means being uncomfortable within the situation, stepping up to intervene in things that could ultimately save a life. Traumatic experiences that people, may fall victim to. We're trying to prevent things at all costs instead of being an innocent bystander. We need to do what's right. So we're going to have a conversation about that. But before we get into that, we're going to welcome my boy Kev Hick onto the show. What's going on with you, baby?
Oh man, I'm chilling, brother. How you doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm good, man. Everything's good. Nice little healthy night, man. We had the kids out yesterday. I'm trying to remember what we did actually. So we took them to the mall to do some shopping and stuff like that, picking some things. My son's birthday is happening in a couple of weeks, so getting him some things, getting ready for that big party, man. How about y'all?
I can dig it. Man. Keeping it simple. We building the house, man. It's closing time, so we just trying to figure out how to make sure that we staying on task for real, and getting to it.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, that day's coming up soon, man.
Mm-hmm.
I already know. I already know. Y'all got all the furniture and everything picked out. How y'all doing there?
Nah, man, the couch is on back order for like 4 months, so we'll probably be sitting on the floor for a while because the couch we ordering is on the back order, or it takes a while to get there. But we'll be all right. We good.
4 months. Dang.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that because
Couch
of
is
the shipment delays? People laid off work? What is that?
Lazy boy just be behind, and or they on task. I don't know. Maybe they're very popular, but if you're getting good furniture made at any good furniture store, people around the country are having huge delays. So
I
just one of
got you.
those things.
I hear it. I hear it. Man, must be nice though, man. You probably getting your stuff hand stitched. Probably got your name in the back of the
Man,
headrest on there or something.
man, hell right now at this pace, I'd be lucky to just get a couch from them because they got so many orders, and more orders than time apparently.
Right, right. I can dig it. All right. But welcome again, viewers, to the show. There's a video I want to share that kind of break into this conversation. So in Philadelphia, there was an incident on a subway where a sexual assault, actually a raping occurred. No one, and as you can imagine, a lot of people were on this subway as public transportation, and no one intervened. No one stepped in to remove this person away from the victim. Any of that, people just had their phones out, and so very, very disturbing to know that and to know that that went down. So let me pull this video up and let's take a listen.
It was last Wednesday night when a woman passenger was raped on the Market Frankfurt L. Well, today, SEPT officials spoke out about the horrific incident and what happened and what didn't happen aboard that train. Action News reporter Christy Leto was live at SEPTA headquarters in Center City with the latest on this. Christy.
And Jim, because passengers stood by and did nothing, SEPTA is reminding those on board to either call 911, use their emergency call boxes, or file reports on SEPTA's app.
So this is the emergency contact.
2 emergency call buttons per car to put passengers in direct contact with the conductor. SEPTA eager Monday to make sure the lack of action taken during a rape on board the Frankfurt line last week isn't repeated.
You can push this button.
What we want everyone to be is angry, disgusted, and join us in being resolute to continue to make the system safe.
SEPTA police say help could have come sooner. Security cameras show Fiston Nagoy spent an entire train ride from the Frankfurt Transportation Center to 69th Street trying to talk, then allegedly grope and sexually assault a woman on board. It wasn't until a SEPTA custodian reported a man disrobing close to the end of the line that authorities were able to arrest the alleged predator while in the act. The arresting officer, who did not want to be identified, tells Action News he pulled the boy off the victim while passengers sat idly watching the lawlessness.
There were people witnessing the act with phones in their hands.
But SEPTA says it only received one 911 call and 0 were apparently reported to Philadelphia police.
I would be shocked. I mean, I can't stand here in good faith and tell you that I do anything. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do anything.
I would try to either assist or call 911 according to the situation. That's what people need to do and stop videotaping stuff.
Yeah, last week's incident still a big topic of concern for a lot of people who ride SEPTA. Again, SEPTA also reminding people to speak up when they see something isn't right. Live here in Center City, Christy Aletto, Channel 6, Action News. Jim?
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all, man. So Kev, what'd you take from that, man? What was your first thoughts?
I think the first thing I think is, the original story I heard, and I think that they would have alluded to it too, is it was a lot of men standing around with their damn phones in their hand. We hear all about this idea that, protect black women. Women aren't being protected. And I don't know if the young lady who got, assaulted was black, but women in general feel very unprotected, and black women specifically feel extremely unprotected by black men at the moment. And, it's really disgusting that nobody was there, pull themselves from a bystander position and actually intervened. It just feels like, with all the things that we have in society about, sexual assault or Me Too, and all the plausible deniability thrown at women when they say something happened to them. When it's happening in their faces, they still don't do anything. So why would women who do have a story to tell feel any more comfortable? I just think a real man is supposed to stand for shit and be able to inconvenience himself or even endanger himself to stop some egregious shit like that. And it just doesn't happen at the rates we would assume it happens. And most people would say what they would do, but if they were there, they would have did the same thing and stand around with their phones out, because that's just how they're built. That's how they're made. And I like that the guy on the video was like, I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? I don't expect you to, fam. That's good. Good for you. But I'm not the type of person to let that type of shit happen in front of me. That's just different. Anybody, 2 or 3 of them could have been like, yo, let's get him. Let's, all at the same time if they were scared.
Right.
Like they thought he was going to fuck one of them. Like, I just don't understand. And so, that just brings me to this idea of, what we teach our children around standing for something. One thing I'm extremely proud of is that my son, his inherent nature is to stand for what's right. And by any means necessary, he will stand for what he believes is right. He will intervene, he will speak up, and, to his detriment sometimes, but he's willing to do that. And that type of courage is just something that is leaving our community in droves. And I feel like, us as parents, us as fathers, with our children, with our sons, our daughters, our families, need to create a culture in which people will speak up when some injustice is happening, and don't create this this lay down pushover, be kind, get by, don't make waves type of thing that we clearly are seeing right now. I think the most offensive thing there, besides the rape, was the phones videotaping a woman's rape as if she needed the reminder that it happened and no one helped her. This was despicable shit, man. So I don't know, but as a father, this is the type of shit that you have to get in front of, because your children will be challenged. Your children will be in positions that they don't find themselves to be comfortable in, and we need to guide them and move them to making the right decisions, or the best decisions possible with those given scenarios. And I feel like this had to be one of those areas where people just lacked guidance and lacked awareness. I don't know what the fuck provokes a man to watch that, especially a group of men, and not do anything.
Right. And like I said, you made a great point. And that your son already has that innate, concept in his mind. Is you didn't really have to teach him and kind of explain a whole lot. Of something that he kind of, like you said, inherently knew. And it's one thing to teach and to explain and to think of scenarios, but I think the ultimate teaching tool is experience and taking action, and them seeing you
Yeah.
in that same role, whether it be, someone's car breaking down the side of the road, you at least pulled over to attempt to help, offer your help. A lady in the shopping center or something, she dropped all her groceries or whatever is going on, you offer to help to pick it up, you do whatever, or just doing it, not being asked, not being told. Just kind little gesture just kind of add to that, and to show that your child that, hey, to have that heart, to have that compassion, and just honest courtesy, like, hey, I seen you struggle with that, let me get that for you, or nah, I got you, okay, nah, I'm gonna help you, to your vehicle, or whatever the case is. Just showing that, hey, you got that heart, and it matters to you, just being a person, you being a human being, and it's not everybody has to fend for themselves, and and everybody needs help. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to a time like this. And like you said, it could have been, an effort by committee. Like,
Yeah.
you could have been, hesitant, being, the only person to get up and do it, which in a lot of, sometimes you just have to be the only one. People
Right.
follow your
Right.
lead, if they
Absolutely.
feel so inclined. But I'm pretty sure you really only needed one other person just to distract this person, have that lady get away.
Right.
You could have timed it. Hey, as soon as this this door slides open, whatever, I'm bum rushing the homie, getting him, stealing off, whatever you got to do to you know what I'm saying, just to negate all of that and rush her and tell your boys, hey, when I get him off of her, y'all take her and y'all scoot out of here with her and just get her out of here. It could have been easily done, but we rather take, a lot of us rather take the phone out, get to the video recording, and just, I'm like, what is that? You're not helping the situation. You're recording for, a future event, because
they
there's
weren't
no
trying to
help
go
with that
viral.
now.
She's being raped and they're trying to go viral. Like, that's just weak, bro. Like today, I live in a nice little neighborhood. Our temporary apartment is a real uppity place. And so, I come outside the house with my son, my 4-year-old, and we're going to the car. My wife and my other son are already in the car. And a family of 3 is riding scooters, and they stop right by where I need to walk through, and they not impeding my progress, but they're close enough for me to see what's going on. And this man is yelling at this woman, and in such a way that I would immediately know that, oh, he beats her at home. Like, that's how he was talking to her, stupid. Like he was speaking to her as if, I'm gonna beat your ass when we get home. But it looked like he was about to beat her ass like then, right? Like right now. And so I took my son to the car and I stood there until he calmed down, because I thought, okay, if he attacks this woman, I'm gonna have to stop this man. Like it wasn't a thing. Like immediately, I'm just like, okay, as long as his words, he ain't gonna catch nothing. But if he jumps on this woman, I'm gonna stop him. And it's a child right there. Like, so I just waited. Like, I kind of stalled, and my wife's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "This man is over here talking to this woman like he's about to hit her. If he does that, that's where I'm at." And I didn't even announce that to my wife because I didn't want to hear her mouth. Shit just needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time, and I don't know what my wife would have said. She probably would have been like, "I understand." Like, she know me. But I didn't even make no announcement. I just lingered and I just stood there with the door open, like acting like I was putting my son in the car seat. He was already in the car seat. I'm just kind of peeping game. And eventually they just rode off on their scooters after he said enough to her. And the woman was every bit as submissive and terrified as a woman could be in that situation. Of it, obviously thinking that nobody would come help her. But, I was watching and I was just thinking, man, my sons are going to see these moments one day, and they're going to have these decisions to make, what they stand for. And, it's my job, like you said, to lead by example, to be the image that they see, to be their reference, the frame and point of reference to what a real man does and doesn't do in situations like that. And so, I think we all have a responsibility as fathers, as family men, as men in our community to just stand for more than, just keeping things convenient for ourselves. Like, think about this. Like, I remember I told you a story one time about how my brother rescued this woman who was trapped from a car. And then when the news cameras, I don't know how the hell news cameras found the place before the police, but the news cameras literally must have been riding up the street because they pulled out before police pulled out. When my brother seen the news cameras and the ambulance came and came at the same time, he jumped back in the car and rode off. And some dude was just like approaching as my brother was getting the lady stabilized. And the guy stood there and took the credit, stood up for the news cameras, did all that shit. And we was pulling off. I'm watching down the street from the back window like, man, what's up, man? You gonna get your credit or not? Like, we don't do nothing for credit, Kev. We do the right thing. And I just remember that and it stick with me. And so from then on, man, every time something happened like that, I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to make sure that, my brother's example wasn't wasted on me. And I just feel like, unfortunately enough, man, maybe everybody just ain't got big brothers like I got, man. But I seen real men do real man shit. I watched my brother beat the damn dog shit out of a man for pushing my mama, and threatening to do worse. He had that man sticking up out the feet sticking up out the bushes, unconscious. Now, of course, that's my mama, but all I seen was one of my heroes doing some heroic shit, making my mama feel safe, but could have been any woman. So I've had that example of a man putting himself on the line to make sure that, what was right got stood for. And I think that while everybody doesn't have that example, we have to find it in our community and we have to be that in our community. And all these men get upset about, what these women doing, or if these guys are treating women this way or that way, and the idea of simps and all of this stuff. And I keep telling people there are so much worse things in our community than men who treat women too well. If we're going to have a problem, take issue with the things that destroy our community. Start standing for something. Start stopping these men from going into these elementary schools, pushing their drugs through a 12-year-old. Start stopping these men from kidnapping and molesting these women and sending them into sex trafficking. There was a story recently where a gentleman found out his stepdaughter got sex trafficked, rescued her somehow, immediately found her before she got skipped across the country, and then killed her boyfriend who sold her for $1,000 to the pimp that he had to rescue her from. And I'm just thinking, like, man, we need more of that. That man got a GoFundMe with $100,000 in it. He might beat that case. I'm hoping he do. You know what I'm saying? But why don't we have more men who stand for something? Why do we always have this shit where, people just go along to get along, man? I just think it's despicable. It's sad. And, my hope is to raise my sons to be better than that. And, I think that we on task and we on course so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right. It's inexcusable. And, as you were speaking about that story with your brother, I'm thinking, resorting back to the story that we brought up, obviously being in the public eye and you being amongst the public in that situation, hypothetically, most times it's probably women that's looking at those innocent people standing around. And I'm thinking, like, how would I be viewed if I didn't, take action, if I wasn't swift in my decision making? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have this idea about ourselves, and we like to think highly of ourselves, a lot of us, until the shit gets thick. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that pressure is really on, what are you really about to do? What will you do? Not what you thought about, not what you said you was gonna do, but what are, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that, you know what I'm saying, transcend? And so I think just the pressure of not doing something will eat at me about, you know what I'm saying, instead of just actively just going to do it.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll eat me up.
It's an immediate telegraph that you're too small for the situation or too afraid of the situation. Like, a man doing that brazenly in front of other men is disrespect to those other men. It's like, I remember when I used to work at Kroger's and I was 16, 17, and I always joked that a woman couldn't be fine and come into Kroger's. You was getting talked to. And I used to joke and say, "Oh, well, these women must think I'm safe. I'm just the type you can just be fine and walk past me." I was insulted by the idea that you thought I wasn't gonna say nothing because you fine. I'm like, you got the wrong one. And this was me just learning how to move and manipulate and control the situation and the air around me as it pertains to women, and just figure out what my game was, right? And so this was a part of my evolution. But I just remember thinking, you think I'm safe? Like, that's what you think, I'm soft, right? Like, you think you just walk past me looking like that and we ain't gonna do nothing? Like, you think I'm one of them? And I feel like in that way that even out of ignorance I might have said those things, and that just matures. I don't think it goes anywhere. Like, I would feel completely and utterly attacked and insulted by a man whip his damn thing out and start assaulting a woman in front of me, like I was the safe type of guy to do that in front of. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm such a bitch, I'm just gonna watch. I'm such a bitch, I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, when a man does something
Exactly.
like that, he's challenging other men. That's a challenge, man.
Yeah.
To any man who has this idea of alpha in his heart, like, that's a challenge. A man doing some despicable shit like that needs to be stopped in front of other men who should be of capability to stop it, or at least attempt. They could have stopped the rape, even if it meant one of them got their ass beat. Somebody could have took an ass whooping and stopped the rape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
everybody too afraid of an ass whooping. I think a rape is way more traumatic than an ass whooping, man. So
Exactly.
so it's like,
In
that's
good
the
faith, like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You
yeah,
prevented a rape. You probably
yeah.
caught, you know what I'm saying, your eyes getting dotted, but who gives a fuck? Look what you
But
did. That was a
damn,
heroic move. You know what I'm saying? That's
but
that's gonna boost your confidence either. Even if you took the L, you're like, bro, I know what I did. I know
you
why I
did the
did it.
right thing. You did the right thing. You
Look what didn't
sacrificed.
happen because I got my ass whooped. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
Yeah.
maybe you don't get your ass whooped by a butt naked man or a man with his pants down. Maybe a
Yeah.
motherfucker's pants down is just enough to make them trip and fall while they're trying to give you the 1-2. I
Yeah.
don't know. All I know is that, man, I can't. I don't understand that shit. I think it's a direct challenge. Every time I've seen a man boss up like that on a woman, the immediate energy he gives to the men around me is, I dare one of you motherfuckers try to stop me. Like it's a challenge. It's like,
Right.
which one of y'all want some of Debo? Like, it's a challenge to everybody. It's not just to that woman. I mean, she's the victim. She's definitely the victim.
Mm-hmm.
No comparison. But the brazen, not giving a damn about who's right there because they ain't gonna do shit because they're afraid of me. That is a challenge. And any real man with some real masculinity is gonna be like, man, what the fuck? You think I'm the type of guy that you can do that in front of? Oh
Yeah.
no, cuz you got to go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's
Yeah.
like, even just today, that guy wasn't even really aware of me, but I was aware of him. And that woman looked at me and she's like, she was scared, so she didn't want to look too hard because he would have went off about that. But I stayed there and I made sure that he didn't just start whooping her ass, at least right by my daggone apartment. You gonna do what you gonna do in public. In private, I can't stop that. But in front of
Mm-hmm.
me, man, you ain't gonna do that type of shit in front of me, fam.
Nah.
And I just feel like more fathers need to make sure that they are exhibiting the type of courage that we would hope to have in our community for the right reasons. I'm so tired of this idea, especially in our community, that a man about violence he's tough. A man about criminal behavior and activity, he's tough. He's about that. But there's no reverence for a man who just does the right thing despite how dangerous it might be. There's no honor in standing up for yourself. So what we have is a bunch of murderers kissing each other's ass, a bunch of drug dealers kissing each other's ass, a bunch of sex traffickers and pimps and shit kissing each other's ass. But nobody is stopping them. Nobody tells them, man, y'all, that's some bitch ass shit, man. What you mean you kidnapping women? What you mean you raping women? What you mean you selling dope to children, man? What you mean
Right.
you got a 12-year-old pushing motherfucking ice? Like, what you doing, bro? Like, that's
Yeah.
like, nobody says anything. And I be by my damn self when I say, I've never even went to a church and heard a pastor be like, what the hell, young man? Like, they just ignore it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it's just been something that's inconvenient. Every time I talk to somebody who into some shit like that, I'm like, bro, I got to tell you, that's you fucking traitor. You a race traitor, fam. I don't know how it
Yeah.
feels
You
right now,
foul
but
as Yeah.
That's foul, man. There's other shit to
Yeah.
do, man. That's come
It's
on, bro.
coward shit, man.
It's I don't understand this shit. Not that you can change everybody, but if you think you tough, then really be tough. Because the tough thing ain't to do what everybody allows and everybody's okay with. The tough thing is to
Not at
do what
all.
motherfuckers are challenged by. The tough thing is to stop or challenge someone in the commission of a wrong act that either betrays their community or betrays your morals. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the tough thing. And most people ain't that damn tough, and that's just sad. And not like
Yeah.
I'm tough, but I damn sure gonna speak up when some rape is going on at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it questions people's moral character, you know, like what principles do you really live by? You know, and not enough people really question their intent, their actions, their behavior when these type of things are witnessed. And another thing that comes to mind is, what if that was, you know, your mother? What if that was your sister, your aunt? You know what I mean? Somebody real close to you. You would expect somebody to jump the fuck up
You would hope
and and be about some action.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you would
One
hope.
way or another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want somebody come to me. What the fuck you do? Well,
I recorded it,
this,
and then I sold the video to Top Copy, or you know what I'm saying? Like I
right.
sold the video to TMZ. You know, I recorded the whole thing. She's gonna win the case. Fuck
Yeah.
all of that, fam.
I
Fuck
can't.
all of that.
I couldn't live with that, man. I mean, just for myself, knowing that I was fully able. I'm not disabled. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing keeping me from, you
And
know,
it's
doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm there.
And the man is preoccupied. You know what I'm saying? You get a
Yeah,
you
like
get
he
a
already
clean,
trying to, you know what I'm saying? Your mind ain't even really about defending yourself at
you
that
get
point.
a you get a clean
You got the
sweep.
advantage.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get the I mean, damn, you could put him in a yoke. You could put him in a dope fiend, a doggone sleeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You could just sneak up on him and, you know, yeah, that type of shit, man. I don't know. I ain't come from that, man. We cut from a different cloth, bro. I don't know what the hell going on with these folks, bro.
Yeah.
But that they were talking about charging those people who stood by and did nothing at first, but then they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough to give them any charges because they didn't break a law. Because being pussy isn't a law, but against the law, but it should be. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah.
So well, I guess, but hey, I'm a simp though, apparently. So
Hey, whoever want to, you know, call me that, go right ahead. That ain't changing shit over here. You know what I'm saying? So,
man.
but yeah, like I said, these type of stories, these incidents should be discussed with your family. And obviously they should know obviously where you coming from, you know, what the right thing is to do, what the wrong thing is to do, you know, and how that affects people. Okay, because you let this happen, this is what happened to this person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You allowed that. That's acceptable behavior to you. You know what I mean? That's what you saying. That's what you displaying right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, I couldn't live with myself if I did, like
nah.
my wife would be looking at me like, motherfucker, what? I thought you
Like
was
if she like, yeah, your wife was out, you know, just hypothetically.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And you found out none of them cats did anything.
Oh, they getting it too. Everybody getting it. Everybody involved got to get it. Like that
Bro.
puts me in a different space, bro. That puts me in a whole different space. You know, I remember when I first started carrying a gun, when I first got my CCW, legally carrying a firearm. I remember I was watching a lot of CCW videos, and this one video popped up because I was watching, you know, just instances where people have used their CCWs and the law was on their side, right, when they had to shoot somebody. And so I was investigating this, and there was one story where a woman was at Walmart working the deli or the bakery, one of those counters, and her husband or boyfriend estranged had a restraining order out on him, but he showed up anyway, and he came to her job and grabbed one of the knives behind the counter, a big butcher knife that they use to do whatever they do, and he started stabbing this woman, and he had stabbed her like 11 times. And this old man that had his CCW walked past the counter, ran because she was screaming, so ran over there to see what the problem was, and he had to shoot that man to get him up off of her. And I just remember thinking, damn, boy, well, like to be willing to potentially catch a body to do the right thing. Like I just remember
Yeah.
thinking, man, that old man, that's how they used to make men do whatever it takes to do the
Yeah,
right
that's
thing. This
that's
man,
real
he
gangster
was
right there.
stabbing
Yeah.
this woman to death, man, and
Yeah.
nobody was hell. And I understand like not wanting to be stabbed. I get that, right? But it's like he
If
went
you
over
got it
there.
on you, yeah.
He went over there and did that, and I just remember thinking, that's the type of guy that has the type of heart that probably would have ran back there and just took a couple stabs too, or got killed because he wanted to do something about it, and he
Yeah.
got that man off of her. And I just remember thinking, bro, you got to be able to risk it. You know what I'm saying, to do the right thing, especially in an extreme case like that. So, I
Right.
had a lot of respect for people who had that brave heart, but again. Braveheart's a movie because they're so that heart, that type of person is just so rare,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And then I like you said, just being able to assess the situation, knowing, what you're going against, know what the danger, know what the risk is. Yeah, I'd have did that over and over. Like somebody getting but he could potentially killing somebody right now.
yeah, like
And
that's a lot on your heart.
you got a whole thing on you. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
But I
but
feel like that the heart he showed was like take action. He didn't get no fight. Like I feel like he would have hit that man with a loaf of bread if he had to. Like that's how you know what I'm saying.
something.
He just happened to have it on him, and I feel like that's the type of mindset that we supposed to
You
have.
gotta,
Just
take
fighting
something.
these-
I mean, you gotta, and that's another thing, just being aware of your surroundings, situational awareness. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, I learned from both my stepfather and just being in the military, always having your eyes and your being facing, the entry and exit, way of a building. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing who's coming in, who's going out, what the profile is. Some look off, you know what I'm saying? You already thinking, of a way to, resort the situation. But yeah, man, like I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is
I
in this
think
generation.
we've
And
built a culture of bystanders, of spectators. We watch the spectacle through the glass lens, and no matter what's happening on the other side of that lens, it feels like we're on social media, even when we're having a real life experience. It's how when people go to concerts now, they don't see the majority of the concert in real life because they watch the person performing live in front of them, flicking sweat onto them into the crowd. They watch that person through their phone screens the whole time,
yeah,
making sure that they're recording it. It's
yeah,
like you're there, live it,
yeah.
feel
Right.
it, be it, like breathe it.
Hmm.
Why are you recording it and watching your phone when you can be watching this person in real life? I
Hmm.
feel like that. I don't know what part of the brain that is. I don't know what type of evolution the human mind is going through.
It's like a separation from reality. It's like
Yes, we have a
you need
separation.
physical, visual proof that you were there, something to, convey a message through, as opposed to you being a vessel of the message. Like
Right,
what happened to just storytelling? Like some of the greatest stories that I can recall that was told to me wasn't from a video, wasn't from,
right.
it was from that person's mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like, I,
but that's
I
what
don't know,
everybody
man.
doing.
Like,
Everybody's
yeah,
a everybody's a narrator, and everybody's a cinematographer or some whatever the fuck, a fucking cameraman. But there's a degree of separation from our experience and uh, our viewership, and I feel like people are looking to be spectators or view it through the lens instead of living and just being out and being people, and that contributes to people's anxiety around not getting their cameras out. Oh, I don't want to miss this. I got to show other
yeah,
people. Got to get some
yeah,
likes off of this. I got to have a viral moment. I bet this shit gonna go viral. World star. That
right,
dumb shit.
yeah,
Man. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck can be done because you can't give a motherfucker heart. You ain't the wizard. I ain't the wizard.
no,
But that's just sad and it's heartbreaking that people are that way now. That's why
yeah,
I always tell my clients, you get out there, go learn jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, go learn Muay Thai, um, go learn Taekwondo to throw your feet, go learn judo, Don't be out here just trying to
Essential.
be, yeah, don't be out
It's
here just be
essential.
trying to be pretty. Learn a fucking skill set to defend yourself, because they ain't making men like they used to
They
at
not.
all.
Whatever, like I said, whatever you need to develop to have that confidence, to have that courage,
Yeah.
to have that bravery, go do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you doing it through YouTube, like something, you need to learn something. But like I said, the best thing to do is to sign up for that class and be a part of it. Do that stuff. Cause like I said, when I went through karate, like it had me a little high on my talent. You know what I'm saying? So, I was pretty successful at it, but it taught me discipline. It taught me to be focused, be prepared. Um, my thinking, my mental acuity was a little sharper from that, and they carry with me like to this day. So, whether you're doing it for a couple years or, what I'm saying, you doing it for a lifetime, it does something very positive for you. And like I said, that can be very useful in the situation, as the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like you said,
Whether
that's
you're a
very
victim,
essential.
whether you're a
Yeah.
victim or a bystander.
Yeah. Right. Right. Because you could just be you and that other individual, and you need to know something. You know what I'm saying? And women too, like you said, if women were the ones that being an innocent bystander,
Yeah.
you helping another person out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In this type of situation, if anybody's going to understand what this woman may or may not, go against, they should be the first ones to have, even a quicker reaction to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, definitely a very, very, necessary conversation. Something that, like I said, I'm gonna sit and talk with my children about the wife, just to kind of reiterate some things. And because we do little short scenarios like that. Okay, what if I grabbed you right here? What you about to do? Well,
Yeah.
because she did some self-defense classes too, some years back. Man, I talked to my daughter about it. Okay, how would
Yeah.
you get out of this hole? What if somebody
Yeah.
wrapped you? What are you doing right here? Okay, so this
Yeah.
is what you want to do for this. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
all these things, these tips, these tricks, you got to keep them sharp. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
But women specifically need to study grappling forms immediately, because a man is going to overpower you and grapple you most of the time. So get you some Muay Thai for your quick striking and quick elbow, short range striking, and then get you some grappling, whether that's judo, whether that's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whether it's wrestling. Get you some grappling skills. Even Aikido, just for the finger breaking and the wrist breaking, to get
Them
yourself some
pressure
grappling
points.
skills. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Get something that you can use when a man's doing some bullshit like this, because 1 in 5 women to be sexually assaulted. That statistic is arguable, but it's not untrue. It's just arguable what constitutes sexual assault. And so that's sad to me that 1 in 5 women will encounter something like that.
Yeah.
We got to do better as men, but if we ain't gonna do it, women got to do it for themselves until men can, grow some sacks. And I don't know if they ever gonna do that again. So,
Well, if they coming from this house and they
yeah,
around me,
right,
best believe they gonna be
right,
ready to take
right,
action. You
yeah.
know what I'm
As for me
saying?
and mine, we putting a foot in
Look,
a rapist's ass.
if they don't, it's gonna be a situation.
Absolutely, death to all
You know
them
what I mean?
pedophiles, them rapists, them
Yeah.
sex traffickers. Fuck them all. Death to them.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, man, this was a great conversation, kid. Glad we had this. Glad we had this. Viewers, thanks again for supporting, for watching. Continue to show love. We appreciate the support more than you know. All right. So like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll have more coming on the way as usual. All right. So without further ado, I'm Dale Holloway. That's Kev Hick. Peace and love.
Peace and love.